Hello, my name is Ms. Paris, and today I will be going over the Courage to Debate 4-1 textbook. Not everything, clearly, but what I will be talking about is the differences between the new stuff you will be learning in this level of debate and what you've learned before if you have been going to MPoly for a while, right? So we're just going to talk about how your flow sheet looks different, how your speeches are going to change a little bit, and some new terminology. Now, if we're looking at a flow sheet, this is pro first speaker. So the only two speaker roles that will change what you are doing is pro first speaker and con first speaker. Now, you're still doing your opener, your introduction, resolution, definitions if you need, right? And your roadmap. If you look here, though, you can see now we have harms and plan. You're like, what? What's that for? We're going to talk about it. So, top of case, right? We have our opener that, well, whatever you have in your opener depends on your teachers, right? So whoever's teaching you debate, listen to them. Some want one sentence at this level. You should not be doing one sentence. You should be doing three, four. But again, it's up to your teacher. Listen to your teachers. Introduction. Hello, my name is Paris, and I am the protein's first speaker. Introduce the resolution. Definitions. You can explain what the resolution means. So we're talking about homework. Homework is extra work that students do outside of school hours. I would definitely start to include this in your speeches from now on, explaining what the topic is. Next, we have our harms in our plan. Now, what the harms are, you are explaining the problems with the status quo. So the world right now, what's going on right now. Or you're also, the emerging problems that will affect the world. So right now, homework is causing student stress and heartache. Homework is blah, 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 right? So your harms. You're explaining what harmful things are going on in the world right now that are related to your topic. So don't talk about children are dying and people don't have food if the topic is about homework being bad, right? They do not relate. So you're just thinking about what is homework like? What is life like right now for students who have to do homework? What are the problems with that, right? Then you need to introduce your plan. Now, in this level of debate, we're working on policies, creating laws. So you need to introduce your team's law or plan that you want to pass. So Pro will pass a law banning homework in schools and academies. And then your roadmap. I will now present the first two benefits of our plan, which are blah, blah, blah. And if you look at roadmap, you can see it says benefits for pro. So it's no longer arguments for pro, it's benefits. So you want to say the positive things that will happen when your team passes this law that you've created. Okay? So you need to make sure that when you are writing those arguments, when you're doing AREI, you need to say them as a benefit. It needs to sound like a good thing. Okay? So make sure you're checking that before you write your speeches. And closer, right? So judge, vote for pro to give students less stress and more free time. Thank you, right? So that hasn't changed. If you are new to MPoly and this is your first time doing debate, there are other videos about how to do your opener, so your top of case, how to do your closer. There are videos on how to AREI, how to do those things. So if you have not watched those videos, make sure you do watch those videos, okay? And now con first speaker. The only thing that changes with con first speaker is you have to introduce your position statement. Now I will explain that a little bit more, right? So again, you have your opener, introduction, resolution, position statement. Your team's first speaker needs to explain what position the con team will defend. Will they defend the status quo or will they do a counter plan, right? And I'll explain that a little bit more. We'll go through the first couple pages of the textbook. So, but example, we, the con team, believe that homework should not be banned. So the content here is defending the status quo, defending the real world right now, right? Our status quo, what is really happening. So right now, homework is not banned, right? So they're saying we believe homework should not be banned. It should stay the way it is. And your roadmap. Again, explaining what you will be talking about in your speech. And then your two elements, refutation, closer. Same old, same old. So again, I said debate. What is planned debate, right? The pro team always agrees with the resolution, right? So you want to pass a policy, your plan, to make that resolution become true. This policy is usually a law. The con team will disagree with the resolution, and they do not want pro team's plan to happen. So by studying this, you will learn how to explain actions and consequences in a way that helps other people make smart, informed decisions. So we're policymakers. We're making policies and laws to change the world. So again, we saw status quo earlier. That is the world as it is right now. What is happening in the world right now? From that, you need to explain the harms. What problems are happening in the world right now, or problems that are starting to happen around that topic, whatever resolution you're discussing. Then you need to introduce your plan. So that's the policy. What do you want to happen? So in your plan, you need to identify three things: your actor, the action you're going to take, so the plan, and enforcement mechanism and details. So that's how will you make your plan happen? How will you enforce this plan? What rules are you making? What do people have to do for this to happen, right? So your actor is the person, group, or government that will take action in the plan. So normally it could be like the UN. The UN will pass a policy or pass a law that will ban coffee. They're talking about coffee in the example. And then your action, right? Action. We're passing the law to ban coffee. Enforcement mechanism in details. How are you enforcing that? Well, we're going to require people to stop cutting down trees for coffee, things like that. What requirements are you going to make? Are you going to fine anybody who doesn't listen to your policy? Things like that. How are you enforcing this rule that you want people to follow? Now, the con team talked about counter plans and straight oppositions. So, straight up, like, what is that? Right? Straight op is short for straight oppositions. That means you just straight up disagree with the protein's plan. You do not agree. And that's where you would do your disadvantages. Your arguments would be disadvantages, not benefits, right? So you need to talk about the disadvantages of the pro team's plan. You're just straight opposition, straight attacking. If you're doing straight op, your position statement would look like this. So we, the con team, believe that the status quo is better than the world the pro team's plan would create, right? You're defending the status quo. With counter plan, you're probably like, what is that? Counter plan. It is what it kind of sounds like. You're coming up with an alternative plan, a different plan than what the pro team wanted. Okay? So, example, we, the con team, propose our counter plan. Instead of banning coffee, national governments, your actor, will regulate the industry, action, by requiring farmers to grow their coffee under jungle canopy only. How they will enforce it, right? And if you are doing a counter plan, instead of doing disadvantages, you would talk about the benefits of your plan instead. So it becomes pro team's plan versus con team's plan. But you need to make sure when you're doing your position statement that you are identifying that you are doing counter plan or you are doing straight opposition. And those examples are there for you to use. Okay? So that's just a brief explanation of how that works. Your debate teacher will talk about that with you. If you have any questions, anything you don't understand, talk to your debate teachers, watch the video, read your textbook. All of this information and more is in your textbook. Okay? Hope this video helped, and I hope you have a great time in debate. Have a great night.